This episode of Speakers of Eidolon is made possible by our generous patrons. Special thanks to our supreme and master speakers, Circa Barrakiel, Remia Salia, Omiji Cat Comet, Erisu Yamakawa, Arcadia Lunashine, Dramavian, Alex Franco AV, Nina Grimstaughter, Casey Schaefer, Dimos, Lily Black, Hans Grenade, Sapa Chaquatol, Faris Gentoru, Cletus Oreo, Quick Levin, Luke Leonatrell, Cires, Icy Lee, Lyria Rain, Pamela Isley, Umbral Wind, Naive Aranel, Celeste Rascris, Elenriel Maximus, Edwin, Bob CC, Fabson Voidworm, Rami Maverick, Code Redno, Mira Miri, Winebow Brood, Bay Barbalay, Kaiser Regina, Usura Akari, AJ Brainswordson, Suno Shikano, Gideon Ura, Buster Gearhold, Asuta Starbreeze, Nat Clay, Camille Grinnell, Huskies, and Face on Masher. Support the show and become a patron today at patreon.com/SpeakersXIV. Thank you.
This is Speakers of Eidolon.
Good evening, Eorzeans. Welcome to Speakers of Eidolon, episode 237. I'm Lakeel Bravestone, and I'm joined today by Georgi Wiston and Rollo Des.
Hello.
It is March
Hi.
the 13th, 2021. Our main topics today will be going through the Blue Mage stuff. I don't want to call it a review, even though that's what it says on the thing. It's more like discussion about Blue Mage, the Blue Mage update. I think we'll also, of course, review We'll talk about the story. We'll also read a Q&A interview with Gaia's voice actor by GamePer. I don't know how to pronounce that, but GamePer, that sounds okay to me. Also, we'll be reading MogMail. We still have a mountain of MogMail to go through, so we will of course try to catch up on that as well. Stay tuned for the post show. On the other side, we don't have a lot of questions from the syndicate this week. In fact, I believe we have one question from the syndicate today, so that's going to be an interesting post show. There you go. So make sure you catch that as well, as I'm sure that will be interesting. All right, let's just jump into... Are there any channel updates worth... I don't think so. I don't think I have anything to report right now. Business as usual. Now, this... Also, I might as well remind everyone again that Cerulean Reactor is on Speaker's Place. If you want to watch the first episode, that's where you go. YouTube.com/Speaker's Place. All right, this week in 14... The most, everyone's favorite segment in this show, I'm sure. Especially now. Rollo, you were not here last week, so you get to start.
Apparently last week I was getting Blue Mage skills or something. Is that what you said?
Yes, that's what we decided you did. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, I've been doing my DR runs. My Lubrum Regineon. Because I want the Judge armor. It looks really cool.
Yeah.
So I want it.
Uh-huh.
But you can't wear the helmet as a Viera, so.
True.
Yeah.
Why?
You know.
Yeah. I can see, yeah. That's stupid because it can just replace your head. The Judge armor.
But it's too much ear to replace. You can replace Makote ears. Yeah, because it's a little bit of ear.
Yeah, but I mean, they could just be like, you can wear this helmet, but it'll be like you don't have ears, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. That's very strange. That's such an iconic part of the Judge armor as well. So,
it is. It looks cool without it too, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well.
That's pretty much it.
Okay. I don't think I've done that content since we last did it on stream, which must be almost a month ago now.
What?
No, we did it last week.
Did we do Delubrium last
Yes.
week?
Yes, we did.
Oh my god, we did. I don't even... the days... It feels like it's been eons since I did something. So, yeah, okay.
Don't worry, it's the slowest month.
It is. Okay, Georgi, what have you done?
Come back to me next week. Maybe I'll have something to talk about.
Okay.
I probably will have something to talk about next week because of what we're going to talk about in recent events.
Oh, that's true. Okay, well, I've kind of already revealed that I haven't done much. I did receive repair materials through MogMail in game for Share and our other submarines, so I could repair them, so I can do them again. So that's good. That's essentially I've just become like the sub caretaker now in the FC.
Someone's got to be the sub master slave person.
Why do you combine all those words together?
Yeah, that was a lot of
that order.
Because they're a master of the slub of the subs of the
slub
of the slubs.
Okay,
but
yes,
the FC makes them do them like a slave. So there you go.
Yep. Okay. So yeah, I did that. Yes, and I've also realized that the relic, it's so not fun. I don't want to do Void Arc and Evil's raids.
You don't have to do Void Arc.
No, they did increase. They've apparently increased the drop rate in the Autharian and Girabanian zones.
I did read that.
That is supposed to be faster.
Yeah, that's true.
So
I will also say there will be more motivation to do it next week.
True, that's true. That might help. Yeah, it's just that I don't really want to. Yeah, I guess. I'm just sad that there's no other way, like real, like new way of obtaining stuff for this relic. Okay, right. That is what we've done in 14 this week. There will be more to come. There will be more to do next week, and we will discuss that right now. It's time for recent events. Yes, because Moogle Treasure Trove is coming to town. It's time for some grinding for items that you missed at some point in the game or you haven't acquired yet through regular means. This time we are getting what is the tombstone? Esoterics.
Oh man, it's been a while.
Sure has. Starting on Monday, March 15th, lasting until the launch of patch 5.5, so April 13th. There's not... I mean, we all know how this works. It's you do old content, you get some extra some new tomes, and you exchange those for items. Now, here is the list for this event. The Praetorium now yields 10 Moogle, what are they called? Irregular tombstones of esoterics. Castrum and Orbon Monastery, that's Castrum Meridianum, 7 esoterics. So, yeah, good. So you still have to do Praetorium for the biggest yield. Well, actually, what was it? Yeah, was this the top last time as well?
Praetorium has been the top since the start.
It's always been like that. Okay, I see, yeah. 7 for Castrum and Orbon. 6 for Ridorana Lighthouse. 5 for Royal City of Rabanastre. 3 or 5 irregular. So this is win or lose, I guess. That's why it's 3 or 5 for PvP. That's Borderland Ruins, Seal Rock, Fields of Glory, Onsel Hakir. How do you pronounce that? Hakir. Or Danshig Nadam, which is that the mode? Yeah.
Yes, Danshig Nadam is the mode.
Yeah.
I don't like. I like that they refer to the name Den Sigma Nadam. I don't like that it doesn't match the rest of the frontline names in the fact that it doesn't start with an S and is not a single word.
Right, yes. And of course, Hidden Gorge. So, there you go. 3 if you lose, 5 if you win, and 4 irregular tombstones of esoterics. From the Orm Vale, the Keeper of the Lake, the Wanderer's Palace, and Amdapor Keep.
Seems really generous for Wanderer's Palace and Amdapor Keep.
Yeah. Oh God. Oh, just looking at like the dungeon pictures for Wanderer's Palace and Amdapor Keep gives me anxiety.
Is it all coming back to you?
Oh God. Don't miss those dungeons. Objectives that award 3 irregular tombstones. Zamail Darkhold alone. In there, and 1 irregular tome. What is this?
This is very perplexing.
1 irregular tombstone of esoterics for doing any of the Alexander Gordius levels. Why?
I mean, it's better than none,
I guess.
But why only the first tier?
Yeah, and only 1 tome. It's very odd, but okay. There you go. That's I guess you can do these relatively quickly.
I mean, you can do the Fist of the Father in like less than 4 minutes.
Yeah. So maybe it's a good. Maybe get a good party. You can farm it quickly. Right. The itinerant Moogle will be providing the items. It's in the usual spot in Limsa, Gridania, and Ul'dah. Now, there's nothing new. There's no new reward for this.
No, absolutely nothing.
So the earring or the accessory this time is the Namazu earring. Is that the first one we got?
Yes, that was the first one. But remember, this was first available back when the highest amount of tomes you could get from a single piece of content was 3.
Yes. That's
so
true.
I assume many people did not have the willpower to grind Praetorium and however other many instances that frequently to get the earrings, and that's why it's available again.
Hell, I forgot how horrible that was. I remember getting it and then being like, because remember Mela was working on it, and he was like, I'm gonna get that earring, and I'm like, I'm not doing it. I refuse to do it. And then, then I think on the last day, I'm like, fuck, I need it. And then I just, the whole day, and then I got it, and Mela got angry.
Oh, that sounds so miserable.
Yeah, and then I was like, haha, I have the earring. And then I just stared at my character. I'm like, that was not worth it.
Not till you wear that earring skin, for sure.
It's so small, you can barely see it. You can get it again now. 100 tombstones required. Which one of is this the dog?
Lakshmi. Yeah, it's a
Lakshmi dog. 50. But big news for those of you that did not do
I did do
Eureka, or didn't have the luck in Eureka. The Tyrannosaurus horn is now available for 50 tomes. That's good because that for some reason they just would not allow that to be sold on the market board. They never allowed that.
Nope.
So there you go. You can buy it now. Remember when the next one is a little. Remember when they said when they had that campaign where you got the Falcon mount? I'm assuming isn't that And they were like, oh, this is such an exclusive item. You have to... I don't even remember what you had to do. Like, was it subscribe for 3 months or whatever?
You had to be subscribed... No, you had to be subscribed for at least 1 month during a 3-month period.
Right, that's what it was. And I was like, oh, hell yeah, an exclusive mount. Obviously, would have gotten it anyways, because I was already subscribed. But now you can get it for 50 tomes. I'm saying, I just want everyone to know that Mela is very upset by this.
Is he?
Yes.
Mela,
yes, don't you remember he fucking raged about all the stuff that, especially, I think the Tyrannosaurus, or the Tyrannosaur horn is perhaps the most annoying one for him. But
he's such a crotchety old
man.
man.
Well, that's just because he's like he wants to spite me.
Yeah.
I think this is the one that actually makes him angry.
Yeah. The Falcon Key, you can get it for 50 tomes.
Are you surprised that this has never been made available on the Mog Station?
The Falcon one?
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, I am. It feels
because
like...
it's the only one of these that cannot be obtained in game.
True.
Outside of this event.
It's definitely kind of a weird one-off thing.
Yeah.
Because they haven't done any other campaign like this that didn't become available somewhere else. Right?
Yeah. See, here's the thing. They said that they were... Because the reason for the Falcon Mount at the time was because they said that the veteran rewards were becoming so absurdly high that they didn't want to do those anymore. But they still wanted to thank the people that were subscribing. So they said that this is something they would do infrequently.
Yes.
Every now and then.
True.
And it has never happened again.
No. The Magitech Predator identification key, which is that the... Which
Alamigo.
Oh, the Alamigo one. Okay.
Ugly. And it's loud. I really don't like it.
You know, I think the mount's cool. It was there, I think, last Moogle Thompson event, so that's how I got it.
Yeah.
The orchestrion roll for Decisions. Which song is that?
I wish I knew the answer to that.
You know what? Let's do it live right now.
All right. Well, you can get that
Delta
for
Escape
50.
version 4.0.
There you go. You can also get the Ultima Horns.
50 times for it.
Yeah.
I feel like you could buy it for cheaper.
Well, yeah, you probably can. Right, Ultima Horns. That's from. Oh God, where did you get that again? From Ultima, I would assume.
It's from the Proto Ultima Fate that spawns very irregularly in Azizlar.
Right, that's where it's from. And then you have more or less the usual stuff. There's the riding maps. There's the Elbst, the Bomb Palaquin, the Laurel Gobu, the Drake, Direwolf Whistle, Golfaxi Whistle, Markhab Whistle, Nightmare Whistle. Was Nightmare always? Yeah, Nightmare's always in this, I think.
I think Nightmare is always in this.
Yeah.
Nightmare is one of the more appealing of the horses just because it's probably the rarest.
Yeah. Also, all the riding maps. Iron Dwarf for 7.
Which is quite difficult to craft. So
yes.
This is useful.
Yes. And the Salt and Pepper Seal for 7. There's also 3 MGP, Triple Triad cards, Fat Chocobo card, the Griffin card, and the Servant card, all for 7.
That Zervan card.
There's also 2 additional orchestrion rolls, Smolder, which is, I don't know.
Smolder is the Amolja base tribe.
There you go.
So.
Oh, yeah, I want that in my house.
Yes. Coming home. Is also here, which is
Vanu base tribe song.
Also a song I would really like to play at home.
I think Coming Home is a nice song. It's not the Sea of Clouds thing.
Yeah, I guess. There you go. This event begins on Monday, so make sure you get to grinding. I'm surprised though that there's not more new items in here because this, I mean, it's supposed to get you to do stuff during when there's no, waiting for a new patch. But oh well, I'm sure this is stuff like a lot of people might not have a lot of the stuff on this list. So
just because we have most of it, it's like
yeah.
We say subscribed.
You have
forever.
most.
True.
You have most of this, Rollo.
Yeah, you.
I have most of it, and a lot of stuff I just don't care about too.
Right. There's that.
Like I don't. I just don't care about the Beast Tribe mounts. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Okay, so there you go. Make sure you get to the grinding on Monday. Okay, that is all that's happened in... No, sorry. There's more in recent... This is sort of in recent events, but it also kind of leaks into main story because it's so... This is a very long interview. And probably something we will discuss a bit. This is an interview with. We never really read interviews with voice actors in 14. I think it's mostly because there aren't that many, at least for the English ones.
No.
Right. So let's jump into this. This is by GamePer. This is the voice of Gaia, Anna Rust. Right, let's just jump into it. Anna Rust is no stranger to the recording booth, having lent her voice to characters in Cyberpunk 2077. Ooh, who does she voice? As if I would remember a single character from that game. I remember their faces, but not their names or voices. Battlefield 5, Neo, and Star Wars Battlefront 2. Recently, she voiced Gaia in Final Fantasy XIV, part of the Eden endgame raid that sees Gaia get quite close with another character, Reen. The two become something special. What's alluded to be Square Enix's first official LGBTQIA+ romantic pairing ever.
What is this link? Oh, okay.
Oh, there's a link in here, yeah.
Oh, I don't remember this tweet from the official Twitter account.
You're
very
making
baity.
me open this. No. Yeah, I remember that. That was very baity. This is why. Yeah. All right. The key art for Final Fantasy XIV's 5.4 patch even features an illustration of the two holding hands. Aside from video games, Rust, an English-born actor who identifies as LGBTQIA+ herself, often works in TV and film. In the past year, she played the role of Flurry in Carnival Row on Amazon Prime Video, and she wrote, directed, and acted in Satiety?
Yes.
Satiety? A short
Satiety.
short film drama. Okay. We caught up with Rust to discuss her experiences portraying Gaia in Final Fantasy XIV, the Final Fantasy fandom in general, and to get her perspective as an LGBTQIA+ actor in the TV, film, and video game industries. What was the process like? Lending your voice to Gaia in Final Fantasy XIV's Eden storyline. How was it similar or different to your work in TV and film? Wait, are they actually? When are they going to talk about? Because I wonder if are we going to? Do you agree? No, we'll discuss that when we get to it. Well, it's similar to other video game voice roles that I've done in the way we produce it, but it is vastly different to film and TV. Obviously, the main difference being you're in a booth, and you're probably going to be on your own for the majority of it. But you really get the time to work on each line of dialogue, much more than you would, for example, on film or a TV show. With something like Final Fantasy, you really get the time to go over the lines in many different ways of your own choosing. The nice thing about that is there's not really much fear of failing as an actor with video games, because as long as you trust the people you're working with, you're going to be able to try anything and they'll steer you in the right direction. I guess there's less... You don't have to deal with this when you're voice acting.
I feel as if it's easier to do multiple takes when you're voice acting.
Yeah.
Because when you're acting, they have to reset scenes. There's a lot more that goes into it rather than just repeating the line.
Yeah. Okay, right. So what was the process like, lending your voice to Gaia in Final Fantasy XIV's Eden storyline? How was it similar or different to your work in TV and film?
You just read that question.
I really did. I did. Moving on. I feel like I'm going senile. Initially, there was a lot of mystery surrounding Gaia's character, but by the second part of the Eden story, she and Reen grew close quite quickly. Towards the end, Gaia knows exactly what she wants. What was it like fleshing out her out as a person who endures so much hardship, then manages to come out stronger for it? It's interesting with her because she has so many different facets. You could call her a three-dimensional character because she has literally 3 dimensions. But she's a really interesting one because of the different forms she takes on. I really enjoy that part. She has literally 3 dimensions.
I don't know what that means.
Rollo, you are very much muted.
Fuck!
Yeah.
she's got polygons. There you go.
Yeah. Is she talking about the 3? Wait, that would be 2. Is she talking about like that she can travel between worlds? Like she has the first and the void.
She's a 3D model.
Yeah, I guess
that's
so.
the joke.
I want it to be more deeper than that, but yeah.
No, that's the joke.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. I remember the first edition I ever did with Square Enix. They gave me like a bunch of slides, and I had no idea it was for Final Fantasy. But they gave me the freedom to do anything that felt right with the more high intensity ones. Oh God, no. Because she really is a completely different Gaia for that. And I remember saying, "Are you sure you want me to go to 100 for this?" And they said, "Yeah, we've got it. Go for it." I went for it, and it ended up working. It was really, really cool. Usually, you have to be careful with the way you make your choices as a character. I think with Gaia, she's so free, you can basically do whatever you want. Yeah, what does that mean, though? Like, she gets a script.
I think because it's kind of a blank slate. She's kind of a blank slate as a character, so she can try anything, and then they'll pick what they want the most.
Right, I guess, yeah. Like
is most appropriate for the moment.
Yeah. Okay. Did you know how Gaia's story would turn out by the end of Eden's Promise, or that she and Reen would end up as a pairing? Not at all. I think the first session that I did, it was a while ago, but it didn't really have anything in that context. And then that slowly developed. It was really cool because the actor who plays Reen, I think she's brilliant. Emma Ballantyne. So she's been amazing. I love this role. We're going to discuss... Okay, we'll discuss... Okay, I feel like we're touching on it now.
We'll talk about that.
Yeah. For many fans of Final Fantasy XIV, Gaia and Reen's relationship was a wonderful surprise. How did you bring that connection to life through Gaia's character? It's all written there. You know what I mean? I know it's only a gentle association. We're not really properly in a romantic relationship yet, but it's there. I love being able to explore that, playing around with that dynamic, and I love the characters. I may not get to voice the character in dialogue with the actress who plays Reen, but I do get a sense of what's going on, and it's really lovely. Okay, so I think that's the... No. There is more, but I feel like that's separate when they talk about other...
We'll get to it more later.
Oh, yeah, there's more. Oh, God, okay.
Oh, you're frozen.
You are frozen. There you go. Okay. How's the fan reaction been to your work with Gaia? There's a ton of fan art of her and Reen, for example. This is the bananas thing. One day I decided to Google and look through the fan art, and it was absolutely mind-blowing. I had no idea
Dangerous move.
Yeah. I had no idea there was that kind of reaction, or that anyone cared enough to put hours of work into this. Cosplay as well. It's incredible. It's really heartwarming, to be honest, because I really, as a fan, as a non-actor, I really love the character. So it's really nice to see that other people have reacted well to it. Yeah, I mean, knowing the 14 community, it's not that surprising. But yeah, it is a lot of fan art of pretty much every fucking character in this game. There's fan art for everyone in this game, which is really nice. Did you play games in the Final Fantasy series before landing the role as Gaia? I played Final Fantasy, yes, and I played Final Fantasy XIV after I got the role. I hadn't actually gotten much into MMOs, but this game, and a little bit of interest in what the character and everything would end up looking like, has pushed me in that direction. I mean, it's a huge time sink in a very good way, but I spend way too much time on it. It's been fantastic. I play it on, well, now on my PS5. Oh, Flex?
Oh, yeah, I was going to say.
I see. Yeah, I would... I mean, it's... Imagine playing... I always think about, like, starting 14 now. God, it would be terrifying. I mean, obviously, she doesn't have to play the whole... Like, she's not... She can just tap out. But...
I mean, if she wants to get to the part with her character, she has to play a lot of it.
That's true. Yeah. It's a good time. This is a good time to start playing 14 still, though. There's a lot of indoor time. Square Enix, well, at least here. Not where you are, Georgi, for... You're lucky. Square Enix has not... Yeah?
I was also going to say that, I mean, especially next week, It's going to be a lot of rewards and early content for new players.
True.
Yeah.
True.
Jump in now. Get your friends. Get on the free trial. 60 up to level 60 for free. You can play Heavensward. See your favorite carrier, Stinian.
Yeah. Yeah. That's right. Square Enix has not had such obvious LGBTQIA plus pairings in its game before. There's a way to read into Fang and Vanille's friendship in Final Fantasy XIII, but that's about it. Speaking as a fan, would you like to see Square Enix introduce more stories like Gaia and Reen? That's actually a very good comparison, I feel.
Yeah.
They're almost touching it here in this article, which is interesting.
Yeah.
I would love to, and I think they already have so many great opportunities they could build off of. I don't think they even necessarily need to put a huge amount of effort into finding new characters or anything. And there's a huge fan base of people who would be really excited to see that. I would be very excited to see that. But I obviously can't speak on Square Enix's behalf. And I can't really say that as an actor either. But as a fan, absolutely. I guess
I think that's where we can talk about it.
Yeah, I think this is where we can talk about it. Okay. It's a bit generous. I feel like this article is a bit generous towards how they've portrayed Gaia and Reen.
Yeah, I agree.
They reference specifically a tweet in this article, which is the one that made me more like, come on, you're baiting now.
Yeah.
I think that does leave a bad taste in my mouth.
Yeah.
Not just because it's coming from Square Enix. I'm like,
yeah. They knew what they were doing. So it's if you can actually play through this game, if you had never seen the tweet or never read anything that the community was talking about, it's kind of almost difficult to see it. Like, it's more like you have to read into it, like they said in, like, with Vanille and Fang in 13. A lot of people just say that they are, like, there is something there, but it is so vague. Square Enix is so scared of doing that.
Yeah, I agree. But I think the reason that it happened with Fang and Vanille, in particular, besides their relationship in game, is also the fact that Fang was originally designed as a male character.
Yeah, there was that as well.
Made into a female character.
Yeah.
So there are people that draw that comparison.
Yes, that's true. It's one thing I will say. Yeah, I see what you are free to think up your own. They've said that before, but the tweet. It was the tweet that made it for me, because I'm like, they're going all in. The artwork was there. Like, they had all this going. They were baiting. There's no denying that they were doing it. And you could see it in the community, because people were expecting, people were like hyping it as like this big thing. Oh, here it comes. Here it comes. And it didn't. So, yeah. So that's that. I'm glad they've left it open enough, though, that kind of with Vanille and Fang, that you can make it your own canon. You know, there's nothing that no one can say, no, that's not true, because they've left it open. So I just don't like the baiting stuff. It's very easy PR for Square Enix, and we also obviously
it's very
know,
disingenuous PR.
Yeah, it is. It's not okay. So there you go. We've also talked about, like, Horshafont before, and how he was he almost felt more obvious sometimes, but
I think Horshafont is more overtly. That's one directional as well.
Yeah.
Like, it's entirely possible that you, as a player, don't project it being reciprocal at all.
No, that's true.
It's fucking weird. I'm sorry.
Well, Horshafont was more obvious in the Japanese one, though, than in the English dub. Which, there you go. Okay, I don't have any. I don't think we are going to get what people want in this direction in 14 anytime soon or ever.
No. Not with anyone important.
I want to be proven wrong, but I don't think that will.
But not even with anyone not important. Remember that Valentine's Day event?
Oh yeah.
Even well, at least in English. But...
Don't you ever tell me that Dulia Chai and Chinas do not love each other.
What? What do you mean?
No, I was talking about the gay pairing from...
Yeah, I know, but I'm just telling you, don't say that there's nothing canon in this game.
What do you mean?
Oh, romantic? I mean, yeah. There's some.
Oh, there is romantic canon. Yeah.
There's that one warrior chick from the Warrior quest line. I forget her name. There you go.
Oh, yeah. The Aura and
Edda.
Curious Gorge.
I mean, Edda and Viera. I mean, obviously, only one part of that relationship. That was a very one-sided relationship, but yeah. There you go. Okay, well, there you go. That was that interview. It took a bit of a turn in the. Wasn't that much 14, but I did also realize that Gaia really isn't that. Her voice actor isn't that prominent in the game. Really?
No, I was going to say it's not like she has that much in game to work on.
Yeah.
Maybe there's more with her. Yeah,
perhaps. But
she's having void adventures.
We already know there's this whole festival thing that they were talking about, so she might make a return for that. Okay, that was Gaia. Gaia's voice actor. I guess we'll move on to Blue Mage. Talking about Blue Mage, patch 5.45 brought a series of quests and spells and one new, what is it called?
Masked Carnival.
Masked Carnival battle fight. I guess we'll talk about. What do we want to talk about first? Do we just want to talk about like the new spell, like how new spells isn't really worth talking about because it's new spells. You can get them.
There's some fun.
Sorry, Rolly, you go first.
I said there's some fun interactions that we can probably talk about in combinations of spells and such.
I guess. Any favorites from this patch?
Mortal Instinct.
That's
good.
Mortal Instinct.
Mortal Instinct's very good.
Which one's
it? Allows you to solo many dungeons now.
Oh, yeah, that's the solo one. Yeah.
That's a pretty big one.
Yeah.
I feel like it should have been at the start, but better late than never.
Yes. Ultra Vibration, obviously, is a very good, very fun skill to use. Well, you have to use that in conjunction with the...
Ram's Breath?
Yes. Freeze them and then vibrate
freezes
them to death. Yeah, there's like I feel like that's the whole thing with Blue Mage is that you get all these fun new spells that are very very different from what you would get from a normal job. Yeah. But let's jump into the story, and then we can, I guess, wrap up at the end.
Quickly, I just want to talk about, I think the new primal spells are very fun.
I don't remember which primal
especially like Suzaku's.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Suzaku's kick.
The kick?
Cool.
Yeah.
I kind of wish it would automatically activate at the end, but whatever.
Yeah. It is weird that it doesn't automatically conclude itself.
Right, yes. Okay, all right. Story time for Blue Mage. Spoilers. Okay, so we pick up with what's his name? Martin.
Martin.
Yeah, Martin. He I don't remember what he's. Oh yeah, he's like, oh, we've expanded. We have more shit now. I think that's how it just started. It's a very clean start. It's like, oh, new shit, and then this. Oh, it's the Mikote. It's her test day. It's her. She's gonna become the fourth.
Azura
I
Yeah, Azura the Fourth, because Martin is now Azura the Third.
Yes. And we noticed that someone's missing. The little Lalafell dude is missing.
I call him Nutella.
The what?
I call him Nutella.
Nutella. Nutella's missing.
Because his last name starts with N-U-T, and I can't remember the rest of his name.
Oh, nut. Yes, they're missing, and they're like, oh, no, they left. Which I thought was really strange. Like, oh, weird. Okay. I thought, did they just not like this character? Was my first thought. Did they just want to get rid of him? They just showed like a JPEG of the character. I'm like, okay, okay. Yeah, so what's the Mikote's name? Something P. I cannot remember. You know who we're talking about.
Something complicated.
Yeah.
Mikote-esque.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Let's just call her Mikote girl. PJ. Let's call her PJ. So it's her big test, and they say they tease who it is, and it's not very hard to guess who it is before you see him, because they say it's like a big tentacle thing. Mm-hmm. Of course, it's Ultros being creepy as usual. He is very a very difficult character. He is very, I don't know. He wants young women. Is all I have to say about Ultros. I feel like he could be problematic at some point in the future, maybe.
Oh, he's definitely problematic. I don't think we're supposed to sympathize with him.
No. Hey, I know.
I think the humor comes from the fact that he never wins.
Right. Yes.
Yes, Rollo?
Sorry, what?
Consenticles are a thing.
Don't say that word ever again.
Anyways, she fights him, and she obviously wins, and she
destroys him.
Yeah, becomes the fourth. What is it again? Azuro the Fourth.
I thought you were gonna say fourth Hokage.
No. She beats him up. Okay, and that's that. We go back, celebrate, good times. But then, behold, someone from the Far East is passing by, and they're like, "Huh, I see. You're ripping off."
Royce has been showing this person around.
Yes, and he's like, "Oh, I see you're ripping off our concept."
Blue Wizard.
Yeah, our blue wizards. And Martin's like, no, this is mine. And so the Far Eastern guy leaves, and Martin is like, oh my god, someone's ripping me off, dude. And then what's her name? Royce. She appears for some reason. I don't remember why she's suddenly appeared.
Well, she was showing this guy around. She thought she was going to impress the Far Eastern guy by showing him the masked carnival.
Oh, I felt like she just came after them, but I guess okay, right? I see. So he's like, "Oh my god, someone's ripping us off," and they decide that Martin should go. Well, he decides, I guess, that he should go investigate.
Well, and Royce agrees because she doesn't like losing money.
Right, of course. So
that's my IP.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So off to Kugane he goes. We of course have to go check on him.
After we learn a skill.
Yeah,
I think we're told to go learn. What's it? Basic Instinct.
Oh yeah,
which is funny because it's a level like 25 skill.
Yeah.
So it makes sense that we don't have it yet, but we're getting it now.
Yes. We go to Kugane and we find Martin outside a tea house wearing a tea, like he's working at the tea house for some reason. Turns out he's been robbed by a fish.
Mm-hmm.
I have to say, there's like a subtle humor in this entire quest with him being very committed to this tea house, which is like,
Yes.
oh, I have to go. My shift is starting soon. I'm like, okay. Well, yes, because he's been robbed. They stole his clothes and his money.
This is not the second time This is not the first time. Sorry, that he's lost all
That's
his
true.
clothes.
That's true. So he what are they called? The
Bazu?
No, the police people.
The
sexy gummy.
Seki Seigo.
Sexy gummy, dude. The sexy gummy. They feel sorry for him, so because he is very pathetic. So they got him to the tea house. They got him a job there, so he can
clothes.
So now he works there, and now you have to go figure out where this. What do they call it?
It had a Hingan name. Don't expect me to remember the actual name.
Let's just say
the
Blue Wizard Festival.
Yeah.
So you have to go look around for a bit, and then you find out. Do we find out who's behind it in the first quest? I don't know if we do, but we know where it is. It's near Kugane Castle. Or is it in Kugane Castle? It's either in or around. I don't remember.
It's in Kugane Castle.
Okay, it's in Kugane Castle.
The Fukumen Festival, the Fukumen Fighting Festival. Thank you,
Fukumen. Yeah, there you go. So we decide to go. We decide to go.
We try to get in, but first we need a ticket.
We need a ticket, right? So we go to like a dark alley, the back alley in Kugane in the shopping district. And we encounter, what's his name? Gaia.
They all start with GYO, but don't ask me to remember which specific one this one is called.
I actually remembered. I think Gyodo is the fish, and
Guffin. That's his name. That's Guffin.
We realized that that's also the guy who stole Martin's clothes and money. Now he could give the money back, but the clothes he has sold. So no luck there. But he also he gives us a token or a ticket.
He gives us 2.
Yes, to the Fukumen Festival. So now we can go in. Turns out though that he gave us the cheapest ticket, and we can only watch the introduction, like the warm up stuff at the beginning. So we go in, and there's a Lalafell, and a Lalafell enters the stage. What a surprise! It is Nutella. I don't remember what they call him.
I don't remember what his nickname was in the festival either.
Blue mask, something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, something. It's
Blue
not
hood.
very. It's not complicated.
Yeah. He defeats a tiger. Very impressive. Very impressive. The tiger does nothing to him; it just stands there. And then he literally does like the sales pitch that Martin did, just giving away, selling crystals, soul crystals, and books. So not only did Nutella leave for the Far East, he's literally stolen his cache of one of his caches of soul crystals and books, or logs. So we have to leave though because we have a shitty ticket. So he has to go back because his shift is starting. I don't know why I thought that was funny. I'm like, he doesn't need to do this anymore, but he's so into that.
Yeah.
So after that, it was kind of like it was Hildebrand light. This whole quest line.
When we leave, we wait outside to confront the Lalafell and also the person running the festival that we met in Uldar.
Mm-hmm.
I believe this is when we first meet Momo as well.
Oh yes, true. Yes. My mind is blanking right now. Where are we?
And then I believe this is when Martin challenges them to say you have to stop doing this.
Oh yes. Yes. We have to go get his clothes?
Yeah, we do have to go get his clothes.
Because he can't be wearing his tea house outfit. Which it sounds like such. Imagine this in real life. Someone stole your clothes and have sold them to like different vendors or whatever, and now you have to go back and try to find it. I would have given up immediately. I'd be like, "There's no way. There is no way we'll ever find those clothes again." But we do. We split up, and you
find out that they have been sold already.
They have been sold to a Lalafell. And of course, it is Nutella who immediately runs away. We catch up, and they're like, "Uh-oh, I've fucked up. I have a
reason.
What?
I have a reason,
yeah,
but I won't tell you yet.
Yeah, I won't tell you the reason.
Not convenient.
Yeah,
just yet.
Yeah, but I swear, dude, I have a reason. And also, I bought his clothes. You can have them. And now we have them. And Martin is
ready to challenge Momo.
Yes. Doesn't go that well, but here, so he does. So I thought it was in retrospect. I see it, but I didn't understand it at first. I just thought Martin was, Martin sucks because he kind of sucks. So Martin is casting blue magic, but then this other dude is just doing something else. Like he doesn't have the blue mage cast thing around him when he casts stuff. So Martin is defeated. So scary when he's defeated because there's this close up of his face, and then he's like, "Oh, blue mages can't do that." Then his eyes roll backwards into just white eyes. It was very scary. Gogo is his name.
Oh yeah, Gogo.
Gogo. Yeah. For golden giant or what? No, golden Goliath. I think something like that.
The entire fight, Gogo is repeating, copying after Martin.
Yes.
Not only what he does, but also what he says.
Yes. Okay, so after that fiasco, Martin's like, okay, well, I have just fucked up. There's no way we'll get the rights for this now. And also,
Royce walks in.
Who?
Royce walks in.
Oh yeah, Royce. This is when Royce shows up and is like, "What the fuck are you doing? You're a failure. This is my show now." So she takes over. I think this is we're gonna have to skip because there's some filler in between here, but she's essentially just forcing us back up there to re-challenge Gogo. And what's the guy? What's the greedy guy? The gold,
Mr. K.
Wario.
Yeah, something.
Wario Man.
Yeah, Wario Man. We're like Wario Man.
Kageyama, I believe.
What?
His actual name is Kageyama, I think.
Okay, right. We tell him, or Royce tells him, we want a new challenge. And she sweetens the deal by saying, if we lose, you can get our part of, you can just get the masked carnival as well. You can get all of that if we lose. And then she picks us as the champion. So that, and also we have to fight on our territory in the masked carnival. This unlocks the new fight.
Well, first, we need
we
to
need
do
the
some research
backstory.
on Gogo.
Oh yeah, there's a lot
We need to
here.
go investigate where he came from and how he does what he does.
Yes. So we travel to Yangsha. Yes, Rollo?
Oh, sorry. It's just when you follow him, it's real funny. I was like, yeah,
I was
he just
so
does
confused. Like the first scene where he's like, there's like this one row like far away, and he's just doing his exact. At first, I'm like, is he the row in the? What's happening here?
that. A bodysuit android or something.
Yeah, I'm like, what the fuck's happening?
Yeah, I also thought he was a robot. Like he wasn't a real person.
Right. Yeah.
But no, it's just something he does.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And he had
that's cool. He does it.
Yeah.
to leave his village because the Garleans. So
Yes.
he went in Gashi to make money for his village.
I had a moment where I thought, Puppet Master? For a second, I thought that. But, yeah. So,
I mean, here's the thing. We would have not thought that if we'd recognized who Gogo was.
True. So we'll get okay. So we talked to this old man that tells his backstory has a unique face. I realize.
Does he?
I don't think
notice.
that's a Hur face you can use. Yeah. So he essentially made a living mimicking other people, and was known as Golden Goliath, or just Gogo at the time, I guess.
Gogo first.
Yeah.
That's his real name.
Yeah. That's that. So we realize, okay, he's not using blue magic. He's literally mimicking stuff. When do we learn about?
It's sometime around here. This is when I think before we fight Gogo. It's sometime between when we challenge Gogo and then go to Uldar. We learn Nutella's backstory as well.
Okay, yeah. So Nutella essentially met someone in Kugane. They got married, and then to fund the wedding. Was that what? Like, there was something he became indebted to Wario for some reason.
He came indebted to Wario, but I don't exactly remember what it was.
No.
For the dowry.
Oh, that's what it was. Okay, yeah. Okay. Well, there you go. So he started working for him to pay off his debt, and then it just got worse and worse, and then
He had to start illegally exporting things to Uldar, and that's when he found out about Martin and the Blue Mages, and that's when he came up with the plan to steal it.
Yes.
And bring it back.
Yes. And that's essentially what then happened. So that's his reason for doing what he did. Okay, so now we're at the fight. We should probably also mention then that Gogo is a mime or a mimic from Final Fantasy V. He's wearing...
6?
Gogo's from 5, right? I always mix them. From 6?
He's from 6. He's a character we didn't...
Oh, sorry, I always mix 5, and you know how I am with 4, 5, and 6. Sorry, 6. Yeah, 6.
We didn't recognize 6 places.
It's just that...
You're both right. He's in 5 and 6.
Oh, see, that's why I fucking mixed them. They have so much overlap. Okay, yeah, because I'm pretty sure mime was a thing in 5? Was mime a thing in 6? I don't remember our 6 playthrough if we had any mimes.
Well, because we didn't
recruit
Gogo.
Oh, that's true. We clearly we finished 6. So
yeah.
Okay, yes. So yes, let's talk about the fight. So that was very jarring that he was obviously like a different character when he entered the stage.
Yeah. Like, when did you get so tall?
Yeah, you literally just changed.
A little lankier too.
Okay. Oh, you're right, Beast. We did unlock Gogo. Don't you remember? Is that Grandpa? Is that Grandpa from 6?
No, we never unlocked
we never
Gogo,
did it? Oh, we never did. Oh, we had similar... Oh, that's Strago. Okay, anyways. So, where are we? Yeah, so the fight. Let's talk about the fight. I think the first part of this fight is very snore, because once you know how to survive it, it takes a while, and then you have to wait for him every time. Because so the fight is, the gimmick of the first fight is that he will enter like mimic mode, where if you attack him at any point during that, he will just insta kill you more or less. Unless, I guess you could. Can you diamond back that? I haven't tried that, but it would be pointless.
I don't think you could diamond back. I think it does like 900, like max tier damage.
Yeah,
I think it's just
If he does it towards the end of the fight, you can just attack him and kill him through it.
Yeah.
Just make sure you do it quick.
Yeah. So essentially just stay alive, put some dots on him so that he at least takes damage during the mimic phase, and you'll eventually make it to round 2, which is way more interesting, but unfortunately very annoying, because that's probably where you're more likely to wipe a lot. And if you do, you have to do that first phase all over again.
Yeah.
Very chaotic second part. I don't even know if there's anything else to talk about the first part. All I remember really is the mimic part.
That's the only unique mechanic from it. Everything else,
I guess it's the Doom thing as well. It's like that's a potential insta kill if you're like on your 10th run of this fucking fight and you're so you just want to kill him. You kind of might forget to heal up before it. It's like a Doom with a incurable status. So if you're not already full health, you're gonna die anyways.
Every mechanic in the first part of the fight, other than the mimic mode, is from a previous Mars Carnival fight.
Right. So in phase 2, things get very spicy. There's a lot of attacks at once. There's the classic fire with Paretic, and then followed by an ice attack that comes out of him. So you have to like move out of the way very quickly, and then stand still, and then let him cast the ice attack. But I guess the most difficult part of the fight is when all the tornadoes start spawning, and then
I hate it.
Yeah, it sucks. And then you have to like place the thunder things around, and then there's the meteor thing, which fucked me up so many times when I tried to figure it out the first time, because I'm like, when am I gonna diamond back here?
Yeah. And one of the problems with the fight is just managing your MP.
Yes, because
you need enough MP at the end of the meteor phase to use Diamondback, and Diamondback is expensive. It costs 3,000 MP.
Yes.
You can kind of cheese it, honestly, though.
Oh.
If you just use the healer mimicry, because that way you don't have to use white wolf.
I use healer mimicry. It was so much easier with healer mimicry.
Yeah, it is.
I do that too.
Okay, yeah, because that's what you do. You just use healer mimicry and you use whatever fucking healing spell, and then you're fine on mana.
Yeah.
On a slightly related note, I think healer mimicry is the best for soloing dungeons.
I think so too. Yeah. It's it reduces MP cost of all healing spells, right? Does it also affect White Wind? Because I still thought White Wind was very expensive.
It doesn't affect White Wind, but you don't really need to be using White Wind if you're in mimicry.
No. Okay. I think that's all. There's like a thunder thing at the end, but I think the hardest part is the tornadoes and the meteor stuff. Yeah. Okay, so after that is done, there's the last quest, which is just a wrap-up quest where you face Go-Go and Wario, I think, right? And then Royce has reported them to the authorities, and so
because he has been illegally exporting things to Uldar.
Yeah.
Classic crap. People exporting goods.
Yeah. So they are taken away by the Brass Blades. And that is essentially the end of the story, because the last part is just Martin going like, oh, there's so much more to see. So obviously hinting at the next story line.
And also he gives his blessing to Nutella to continue an official branch of the Blue Mages Guild in Kugane.
True. Yes. Well, there you go. A happy ending. Yeah. So that is it. How do we feel about Blue Mage after this patch? Is it in a good spot still?
Mortal Instinct really helps some of the solo stuff. Doing bosses solo is interesting. I'm not good at it.
Very, very fun. It's a very fun challenge. All of the like OGCD primal spells that they've given you make it so much more interesting, rather than, because if you're not using those, you're just spamming your strongest single target attack.
Right. Yeah. It's nice that they've actually made it so that you can solo shit. It's like Rollo said, it should have been there since the start, but yeah, at least we have it now.
Never thought I would see a fucking mime in 14 though.
No.
Like I know we always said it as a joke, like, haha, mime. It's like, oh, there's that's the mime. They made it work somehow.
Yeah. I feel like that at least makes it clear that we're not gonna get mime, because now it is essentially, I mean, it's Blue Mage without. It's just Blue Mage, really. But yeah. So I guess it's a more limited Blue Mage, because I think with Mimic you have to immediately repeat it. So you can only.
No, because remember, Gogo was using a lot of spells that.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Weren't using.
So it really just is Blue Mage in 14. It's just a different kind of Blue Mage.
I think it's just like an inherent Blue Mage. It's not something you require a soul crystal for.
Right.
But it's something you have to be like naturally gifted and talented to do.
Yeah. Okay. That's it for Blue Mage, I guess. I feel like I haven't done enough for Blue Mage. I have been very I don't know why.
You'd be glad that you got all those freaking primal spells, because it was very difficult for me when I did latest Blue Mask Carnival challenge.
Yeah.
Yomi's shit is just so strong.
Oh yeah.
Like the mates everything.
Yeah.
Because I didn't have Night Bloom when I did challenge.
Yeah, I need to do more. Blue Mage. I think Blue Mage is fun, but
I think Blue Mage is very fun.
To me, it's always been like such a disconnected part of the game, and I always feel like whenever I play, I'm like, this is time I could have spent doing something else. But then I just end up not doing anything. So
what is that something else you'll be doing right now?
Yeah, right.
I like that it's so different, though. Like it's a different, mode of play, and I can appreciate it for what it is.
Yeah.
I hope they do another limited job that is more my thing.
I hope they do too. I hope we see another limited job. I don't expect to see it this expansion, but hopefully next expansion.
Beastmaster.
Still time, still more patch. You never know.
Yeah. Okay.
Maybe the island, whatever the hell that thing's called.
Oh my god, Animal Crossing for 14. Oh, and you could have your like beasts roam around. You could have
exactly.
I'm gonna tame a dodo.
What if
Dodo?
That's all I want. I want a dodo.
I think it's incredibly easy to tame dodos.
I want my dodo to walk around. That's all I'm gonna have. Just one dodo walking around. Okay.
What were you gonna say, Owen?
Yes, Rollo.
I just had this awful thought of like, island thing, it's going to be its own mode of play, but it's going to be like a special non-canon mode of play. And so, like just Animal Crossing, but like a Xenos neighbor. He'd be like, the hunt, am I right? He just goes.
Yeah?
That's what I want like some non-canon shit just happen on that island. That'd
be interesting. Have like our own little closed bubble where just Hildebrand level shit happening. All right, that is the end of that segment. Moving on to another. It's time for MogMail. We have a mountain of MogMail to go through still, so let's jump into that right now.
This one's from Chris Nun from Cactuar. Hello, speakers. I hope you're all doing well. Oh, yeah, sorry. it's very long and we couldn't fit it on screen. Hello, speakers. Hope you're all doing well and keeping healthy. A couple of days ago, I saw your recent episode that focused on the Endwalker presentation and subsequent live letter. During the course of the video, you discussed male Viera and female Hrothgar, and that ensuing conversation is what I wanted to comment on. Lukiel came off a little dismissive about the conversation as a whole, though I assume that's more due to with how long the debate about male Viera, female Hrothgar has been going on, and just not wanting to engage in the argument than anything else. He mentioned that we never see male Mithra from 11, but we do. Leko Haboka. Just want to say right now, we've talked about this male Mithra before.
I was going to say, I'm pretty sure you mentioned that you see an NPC male Mithra in the episode. A lot of people seem to think that you didn't.
Yeah.
And I don't think this is this. I'm not going to blame this MogMailer because a lot of people missed it.
I guess.
But for some reason, I remember it.
I don't think.
Yeah,
I
don't play 11, so
I don't think I elaborated because we've talked about it before. So I guess I skimmed over it. Who appears in a couple of quests in the Wings of the Goddess expansion. Might as well move to this scene. He mentioned that we never see a male Mithra. Sorry, I'm reading it again. Who appears in a couple of quests in the Wings of the Goddess expansion. Rolla pointed out that there would be a veritable hellstorm if female Hrothgar were added alone and not in conjunction with male Viera, and I think he's right. I know lots of people use lore as a crutch on this issue, but I've always found that argument disingenuous, since male Mikote are not supposed to exist anywhere near as much as they do in the world, but are, according to third-party censuses, which, while not reliable, are the best data we can get, around the second most played male race. I can't speak for any players other than myself, but I would buy a Fantasia to switch to male Viera in a hot minute, even if I can't use hats. I'm sure there are others who feel this way, including about female Hrothgar. However, given the state of the IRL world and how far behind some content is, I don't expect this to be a thing this expansion, but I do hope creating the opposite sexes for the remaining two races eventually make their way to 14 at some point in the future. I've never liked gender locking races or classes, and it's something I thought 14 moved away from after 1.0. Justice for bunny twinks and leggy lions, etc., etc. Thanks for listening, Crits. Thank you, Crits. Yes, well, the reason I didn't engage in this last time, or was a little dismissive, is because we've had this argument before. We've had discussed this before. I don't like gender-locked, I don't like gender-locked races.
I don't think you'll find anyone on this panel that is against the idea of unlocking the genders of Viera and Hrothgar.
No. I just don't think we're getting it this expansion. Maybe next expansion. It just from interviews from like previous interviews, it feels like it's not even a thing they're thinking about right now. It feels like there's
like a lot of times you do get like your CP going like no, yes.
Yeah, that's true. But I am also thinking just in terms of the state of the current races, the new races, you still can't fucking put hats on them. I don't know if it's the time to introduce two new models.
I don't know if we're ever going to get hats for them.
No, probably not at this point.
I don't know. Maybe they are planning something big for them in the next expansion. Or it's like, hey, this is that. Add some hats that seem more viable and helmets. And maybe going forward, making most of them usable. And here's the new race too. I could sort of see that happening. Or sorry, the new gen boost.
I can see it at May 13th, 14th, whenever the event is. FanFest happening. I feel like we would have seen it already.
Yeah. I feel like there would have been more. Yeah, there's.
It's a big thing, so I can see them holding it back. It's like
we've been through a pandemic. This expansion has been heavily. I would assume this expansion is gonna. Some sacrifices would have to be made for this expansion, I think, because of everything. So and considering how difficult it was. Remember they talked about how difficult it was to bring these two races into the game. I don't know if that workload was possible during the pandemic. So I don't know.
They said the same thing about flying.
I just don't want people to wind themselves up again for something that there is no evidence of. There's not a fart in the wind that smells like male Viera or Hrothgar. I don't know why. Okay, yeah. There's
Norwegian phrase or something.
No, I made it up. I made that up. It's maybe next time. When I say next expansion, I mean 7.0. But yeah, I would find it strange for them to like introduce 2 new models into the game when they technically still are struggling to figure out how to deal with the 2 they've already introduced.
I think if we're going to see a female Hrothgar, they're going to tease it in the final part of the Bosnia storyline.
But it might also be, remember, like 11, where it shows up and then it is not. Remember, the one male Mithra in 11,
do that.
Fully functional character model, has unique animations, unique looks, unique walk cycle. Everything is unique. It is a male Mithra. It's not just a female Mithra where they've chopped the front off. It is a male Mithra. Never did they make it playable. I'm just putting that out there, but I feel like 14 is such a different game. I think 11's player base are more. They're like, okay, that's the lore, I guess. People just don't care too much about like the lore, like with Mikote as having broken the lore completely, anyways. So, yeah.
I don't think they could get away with putting a female Hrothgar model in the game without giving it to us.
Oh God. Oh gods in heavens. Yeah, it will never go down well. But I will say, even if they show what I'm trying to say is that if they show a female Hrothgar at the end of the storyline, doesn't mean we get it in the following expansion.
I mean, I agree that statement is true, but I just don't think that they would do that. I think that it'll either appear and we will get it, or it won't appear and we won't get it. I don't think they will show it to us and not give it to us, because I think that is the most infuriating thing they could do.
Yeah, it's very, I can just see the train crash happening because people are building up something based on nothing for this right now. And it's frustrating because I know there's going to be so much anger when it's not revealed. And I'm like,
regardless,
why did you do this? It was not, they have already said it's not happening yet. So
that I could believe in anything, that I could get all my wildest dreams excited about everything. So I will.
Yeah.
But I think
this time I'm not aboard that train. I will watch the crash from afar this time. I will not be part of it. Because
if they do add it, you gotta promise to become a bunny boy.
No, I will never. Even though okay, let me also say though that I want this, right? It's not. I want this to happen, but I just don't think it will happen. That's all. But I want to be wrong. I want to be proven wrong. But now I'm winding it up. I mean,
it's just speculation. I don't know. We're not.
Yeah. It's Well, it's speculation based on nothing. That's what troubles me. It's that we have
a lot of things.
Everything is speculation on nothing.
Yeah, but usually there's something. There's something to go off of. I feel like in this case we just want it. Therefore, it will happen.
That's enough.
I think there's something to go off of is the weird teasers about female Hrothgar in the Bosnia storyline.
Okay. I can see that. That has been weird.
I think there's significantly less teasers for male Viera, but they're not going to add one without the other. I think that we've established that if they added female Hrothgar without male Viera, it would be.
Yeah. Male Viera is going to be so out of left field though, because there's like nothing focusing on that at all in the game right now.
You know, they're out there chilling.
They barely bother mentioning it in the game that they're out there, but yeah.
And they shoot an arrow at you.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Okay. We'll see what happens. On
a slightly related note.
Yeah.
Thank goodness our Viera feet don't look like they do in
True. Fucking Fran's feet are disgusting. They are so
horrifying.
Horrible. If you don't know, just Google Fran, Final Fantasy 12 feet. It's the one
Also
time
get-
you're allowed to Google feet.
I don't think you even have to Google feet. Just find a full body model.
Yeah. Just or their hands. They have like long
super-
ass.
Their hands are scary too.
Yeah, scary.
What if she scratched you?
Shoot,
But, like,
you'd
not a-
die. You'd be salami. You'd be sliced salami. All right. Let's move on to the next question. Thank you, Kristinan.
Thank you.
The hope
Damn.
is still alive. The hope is still alive. Just temper your expectations, because I think there might not be a reveal this time, but maybe next time, next expansion. All right, next question coming in now. It's from Rosa Frandilla from Diablos. Hi, speakers. While I was laying down with my mind drifting, I had a thought on what the DC travel restrictions might be. In the announcement, I know a lot of people got worried that it would be not being able to queue on other DCs. But could it possibly be something more simple that is specific to the DCs themselves? What I'm thinking they may mean is how we lose server link shells when visiting other servers on our FC buffs. The things specific to data centers I'm thinking they could be talking about are FC chat, cross-world link shells, and fellowships. Thoughts on this? A fellow white mage, Rosa.
Don't talk to me about fellowships.
Oh, fellowships.
See them doing that though, being like, all right, guys, we've finally done the cross data center thing. Unfortunately, and I know I say this with a heavy heart, we couldn't get fellowship.
Oh no!
And then they spent 10 minutes being like, it's a data center. You can't. The fellowship button will be grayed out. Don't be alarmed by this. You're still in it. No access to it on another data center.
And they'll go over like how this there'll be active help text popping up, and you click the help text and it'll show you. Oh, as you can see here, the fellowship is not available, but all you have to do is go. They 100%.
You have given me you've like terrified me to my soul that we will get an explanation about data center travel the same length as the world visit system in the upcoming FanFest.
Yeah.
Why did you do this to me?
You're right. Not during FanFest. Oh god, they totally are. Well, yes. I think this is pretty accurate. Probably what's going to happen. I do wonder if we won't be able to queue as well for duty finders, because I don't know if the duty finder servers are.
That would be so weird.
That would. I feel like that's
if
kind
you
of.
can't do content with other people, it only exists for like RP essentially at that point.
Yeah,
It's still cool, but like
it's just for visit, because they always put emphasis on like just visiting, like. I mean, you can do. No, you probably can't do maps because you probably can't enter portals together.
can't enter those instances.
I mean, you can do maps. You just can't.
Yeah, you can't.
You just can't go into.
You have to leave the party
dungeons.
when a portal appears. Taking pictures and having fun. I think because I feel like that would be a very expensive and a time. It would require a lot of time for them to restructure their servers to allow that. Because remember, our duty servers are in our regions. Like the duty servers for Europe is in Germany. The duty servers for North America is in where are they now? Like in the West, Cali. Oh, and Japan is in, I'm assuming, Tokyo, right? So.
Don't ask me where the Japanese data centers are.
But what I'm saying is that's where the duty servers are. How are they gonna make you talk to that server and then move into it from? It sounds like hell to me, but I'm not a programmer. I don't know. Maybe it's really easy. Maybe it's just like one line of code, done.
It's easy. I definitely don't think it's easy.
Yeah. Ping will be horrendous, probably.
It doesn't matter for me because I'm on the East Coast. I get the same thing in America.
It will be the same as when you play on your alts, I would assume, anyways, right?
It's all the same to me, Lakil. I don't care about it.
That's true.
I need to look at Fergie's ping. Is it like 300 plus or something like that?
I don't know.
That bad.
I don't want to
it's
know.
Like 200, between 200 and 300 normally.
I don't think
that's still spicy.
I mean, it's still spicy. Right.
It doesn't matter. I get 100 on American servers and I get 100 on fucking Europe because they put them all the way in fucking California.
Nice. I miss when we had ours in Canada, in the European nation of Canada. That was great.
It's just a part of Europe that floated away.
It's true.
Like Australia.
Like Australia. Australia and Canada is just part of Europe that just slid away. It's
just you wait for the Kanzakian Empire.
Don't you dare bring that up in this podcast. This is not. We are not talking about that hell. Yes. So yeah, I can imagine having like, I don't know. They said there's going to be early version of the visit system, so it's probably going to be extremely limited in the beginning, and then hopefully more features will be added. But as a reminder, you still can't attend people's weddings with World Visit system right now. So
weirdly specific. Why can't you do that?
I don't know. No idea.
That was something that they were concerned with, though. They did talk about at least looking into it and working on it. So
I wonder if that's because the wedding system has duty server specific to the server. Like that's a Ragnarok duty server, if that makes sense. So that's why you can't put people from Odin on there. I don't know.
Can you reserve weddings at the same time as other servers or worlds?
Yes, you can. Yeah, it's
okay.
Server specific.
Because I don't know how the reserving system works. I've never been married. Okay.
I think it is. Yeah, it would have to be. Otherwise, God, you'd never be able to book a wedding, because if all data centers shared the same schedule, that wouldn't work.
Not all data centers, but all
all servers.
Server.
Yeah, worlds. No,
if it was all data centers, I would have never thought that. It would be absurd.
Yeah. Okay. Don't expect too much from the cross-world thing. I think at the beginning, I think it's just to meet friends on different servers. Okay. Right. Thank you, Rosa. Fellow white mage.
Thank you.
Kiss.
Switch to say.
Don't you dare abandon the true.
I don't think many white mages will be abandoning white mage.
No. Next
I think
question.
it's more scholars and astrologians that will be moving on.
Yes. All right, next question. It's from Nova Rico from Fairy. Hello, speakers. First time MogMail sender. Ooh, welcome. Want to start off by thanking you all for the content you put out. Sure makes my workdays go by quicker. Don't worry, I'm working from home. Good. Anyway, I was wondering what you think about the moon being the final area. Would they really just reveal it like that at the very first announcement? I was thinking maybe it's the second last area, and the final one may be the moon's core, or even the Asian realm that Elidibus brings us to in the Warrior of Light trial. Was also wondering what kind of NPCs do you think will even be up there? Or do you think it'll be like Asisla, where it's only Allegan nodes? Anyways, thanks for reading, and stay safe out there, Nova. Right. Well, I think we're pretty sure who's the race that's going to be up there. But that would be the
naming way.
Naming way.
Hummingway?
Yeah, naming way is a Hummingway, right? Hummingways, that's what they're called.
I don't remember the name of the race.
They're called something ways, right? It's Hummingways.
Uh-huh.
Well, Hummingway is the individual and naming way is the race.
No. Oh, is it? No, naming way is the name. Hummingway is the race. Naming way is the Hummingway.
Sure.
Chat? Naming way is the man.
The little space buttons.
Yeah. Hummingway is the race. Naming way is the guy, is the Hummingway. Yeah. Okay, we got it. Right. So yeah, they love misleading us. So the moon is very obvious. Like, it's the first thing they show in the trailer. So maybe that's what they're doing, though, because they were like, last time Amarot was like completely out of the blue. There was no hint of it in the trailer at all. So maybe this time they're like, moon. And now we're like, oh, moon. No, I don't know how that would work. I don't know what they're doing. There's some trickery they're doing that I don't understand.
I still think it's gonna be like the second to last area.
Yeah.
Because
I mean, I can. I have no idea what the last zone would be.
All right, I'm peering. I'm using my mind's eye right now. All right, final area. We're gonna take you back to the past because it's gonna be. We're gonna go to the ancient world. That's what it is. Not Amarok.
Okay.
But it'll be like a fully fleshed out ancient zone with like NPCs that are normal size instead of all just tall white people or whatever.
Okay. Right.
My prediction.
Interesting. We'll see if that comes true. Roll.
See, that would mean that there'd be like essentially 5 zones we already know about. If there is a zone after the moon, I suspect we aren't going to Dalmasca because there'll be no Dalmascan zone, because otherwise there's only space for one more zone left.
We're very constricted. Like, I mean, we don't know if we're. They might give us more zones than before.
I mean, that'd be great. I would love more than 6 zones.
Yeah, they might be smaller. I don't know. Yeah, I don't think we should think about how many zones we're getting too much, because they might try to change it up this time. It's the last expansion of like the Highland Zodiac arc, so they might try something new this time. Maybe they'll only do 4 zones this time. Yeah, maybe it'll be smaller. Maybe we'll get less. Maybe we'll be maybe 2 zones. I'd be very disappointed if Dalmasca's not one of the zones. That I agree. Like that should definitely be a place we go to. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like the moon, the moon's core. They are like, there's a big hole in the logo. There's like a big hole in what we. I mean, it's the moon. So something came out of it, or something crashed into it, or there might be something inside the moon. I mean, we've theorized that there's something relating to Zodiac, perhaps in the moon, on the moon, somewhere, something relating to the moon. So there might be something inside that we go visit. Yeah. Why? Not sure why we would go to Dalmasca. I mean, Dalmasca has a lot of shit going on in it. It is one of the provinces that really, really wants to be free.
Freedom.
And with the empire crumbling, I would assume they would use that opportunity.
I feel like we have to meet up with Fran again.
Yeah.
And they've like teased the idea that Ash is still alive as well.
Yes. There's a lot of unresolved plot lines here relating to that. So I mean, you could say that's all part of the Alliance raid story, but so was Crystal Tower. So again, we've had this discussion before about how Crystal Tower, Alliance raids, just because they're dungeons doesn't mean that they're, or optional stories, does not mean that they won't tie into the main story. Okay, but hey, maybe we don't go to Dalmasca. Maybe the story is going somewhere completely unexpected. Who knows? I mean, we're already going slightly unexpected with Garlemald being like fucking blown to pieces. Right. Well, considering the fact that we only have one question from the syndicate, I think we can take one more.
Let's keep going.
Yeah. All right.
That's something.
Yeah. All right, let's jump into one more MogMail. This is from Moriant Pahern from Behemoth. I know that this will be not on there, yeah. I have a dream to join you today in a city where dragons and humans can live together in peace. But above all, let's switch back. I have dreams of visiting bustling and evolving cities across the realm. This is a really interesting MogMail. Since my first visit to Ishgard, I've always wanted to see the city entirely rebuilt without the lying rubble or the destruction of the different parts of the city, and seeing the small changes on the tribes after doing its quests. I imagine that happening in different places. When the Ishgard restoration was announced, I believed that my dream would become reality, but I was disappointed to see only the firmament changing and evolving. Eventually, I accepted the reality that the dev team wouldn't rebuild the entire city, since this would make more sense in a single-player game, and maybe would even be impossible due to MMO logic and spaghetti code. But then, on the horizon, I saw hope. Doing the most recent Ishgard restoration quest, Behemoth hadn't finished it yet. This dates the MogMail. the brim started to be restored too. After a quick Google search, I found a Reddit post from some months ago talking about the eventual broom changes, so I guess I just missed this information when it was announced. I am excited again, and personally, I would love to see boats in Limsa, different merchants in Ul'dah, dragons on the streets of Ishgard, and many other small things to show the progress of the story and our impact on the world. Anyway, this huge introduction is just to ask this. What kind of changes / transformations / evolutions would you like to see in the city-states or other areas on the map, even if not possible or realistic? Do you think the devs are getting more ambitious and actively pursuing these things, as the sweat, drinks, and more movement in cutscenes? Or is this just a natural reflection of their experience? Thank you, Moriant.
The sweat.
The sweat. I would love to see any changes to any of the city-states. Which is why, we talked about how exciting it was to go back to Limsa, actually have a storyline in an original city-state, and actually feel like something's progressing in one of the original cities. Depending on where this expansion goes, we might see some changes to the cities, depending on how big this calamity is. I mean, I think it's fair to say we are probably going to experience a bit of a mini, if not a full, at least a mini calamity based on the trailer.
This time for the entire planet, because the towers are everywhere. See?
Yes.
So
yes.
Rome isn't safe now.
And as you know, with calamities comes change. That's essentially how all calamities go. They change the world, sometimes a lot, sometimes a little.
Don't want calamities to change. Don't want Final Fantasy 14.
We don't want Cataclysm. No.
Yeah.
But this might, looking at it, might just be a smaller scale one. I mean, Garlemald's definitely getting a full calamity, but it's a local calamity for them. But it also,
that's why they're doing it at the start before we go there at all.
Yeah. But it seems to affect the rest of Eorzea as well. So maybe there will be some changes to Limsa, and maybe not permanent, but we already know that we can get quest-based, progression-based updates to areas, right? So you've done this, you have this flag, you will see these items in the city-state, for instance. So I hope they do more like that.
I missed even just this. Remember when they did the Crystal Brave stuff, and you actually just saw Crystal Brave in every city-state?
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, that's cool. Definitely do more of that, because that's
that's I like that. The broom thing, we talked about it last week, I think, but
yeah, we did.
Strange that they didn't touch on that after the Ishgard restoration quests, considering how they kind of seem to have started something in the broom. So I mean, there's still hope for that. We talked about it last week, so I'm not gonna linger on that.
It's a possibility it's connected to the next custom delivery client.
Yes.
What is there any specific changes you want to see in any of the city-states, though? Access to something you don't have?
I would love. This is completely pointless, but I would love to have to open up the old loading tunnels on the side of Ul'dah. They closed them for some reason in A Realm Reborn. I wish they could just open them so people could just walk there and then go into a loading thing. So it will be completely pointless.
I don't think those are the loading tunnels I want. Yeah. I was thinking of the ones in Gridania.
The Gridania ones, to actually see the bridges would be cool. Yeah.
Where the old Aetheryte was as well.
Ooh, yes. I'd love procession of turns, the entrance to Limsa. I guess everyone but Ul'dah makes more sense. Ul'dah is literally just a brown hallway with like very dim lighting. You can barely see anything. Yeah.
Just fill
Ul'dah was very.
I don't know.
Sorry, what did you say, Roland?
Sorry.
Just fill with some slums or something. Just fill the loading people.
Yeah, they could do that, I guess.
Ul'dah was very clearly designed before they realized they needed the concept of loading tunnels.
Yes. More permanent, like more like actual changes though, like because these aren't really changes. That's just opening up. Well, for Ul'dah, I guess is the only one that would actually have a physical change with the gate being open. The other things are just moving the loading, the zone divider further away. I don't know. I feel like they're in. I don't know. I can't really think of anything.
I want to access where the old Miketo's amphitheater was.
Ooh, yes.
I hate that like there's a bunch of paths in the north of Gridania and they're just blocked off with boulders and they've never done anything to fix it.
Mm-hmm.
Nature claims its areas back, Yuri. They can't move the
It was
boulders.
not nature. It was not nature that did that.
No, that was no. Also, the there's like that guy that's so sad that is sitting in front of the rubble. It's like, oh, my friends died. They're in. I don't know if it's yeah. He's like, oh, my whole troop died during the calamity.
And his family.
And his family, died in the calamity. And he's just sitting in front of the old entrance to the amphitheater. Very sad.
Play Triple Triad with you. You can get a game.
Yeah, that's true. Airships. Of course, airships arriving visibly. Why do they hate living world? What is it about it that they hate so much? They didn't want to do the boats and they didn't want to do the airships. What's wrong with you? Make it look more alive.
No. Put a train. I want a train. Do that.
So you think that? Oh yeah.
We don't really have train lines in Eorzea.
No.
I think they should make a train line that connects every city-state that you can ride.
Oh my god! Imagine that, having to set with like Eorzea's like technology, trying to build a fucking interstate rail. No. Horrible.
They said I can wish for anything.
That's
so
true, Rollo. That's true.
I want a real train. Each train line will at least be an hour long.
Okay. Eorzean intercity rail line.
Bullet trains.
Yeah, bullet trains.
Sounds ugly. Sounds horrible.
Yeah.
Do you think that once we have completed the 6.0 storyline, we will be able to use airships to get to Kugane? Because there's an airship landing in Kugane. And the only reason it exists is so you can get to the Prima Vista.
Oh, yeah, true.
I think it's still just gonna be for the Prima Vista.
Yeah.
I think that's just it.
Yeah.
It's so pointless. You have to go through a zone divider to get up there, and then another one to get to the Prima Vista.
Yeah. I think more open world stuff in general is what I want. That's all I want. I know that that's not necessarily a change to the city states, but there's so much they could have done, like having like chat pointed out, like chocobo carriages like moving across, like just making the worlds feel a little more alive. Because if there's no player, if you ever log on to 14 at like 3 a.m. or 4 a.m. and you're just in a zone, every single NPC just stands still unless it's a fate. In 11, I'm sorry for bringing up 11, but boy, 11 is desolate, right? 11 is a fucking desolate. All the maps are very flat. There's empty. All the people, all the 11
very
players
big
are getting their pitchforks ready. I'm sorry. I've played 11 for many years. I feel like I am allowed to say this. You walk around in the zone, and then out of the corner of your eye, you see something in the sky. And you see an airship just passing by on its way to like its next destination. And you're like, there's probably players in that ship. And they're going to Juno. You know, it makes the world feel more alive, even when it's, not.
Something that I like in this game that happens so rarely that I don't even know why they bothered to implement it is that you will occasionally, very occasionally, in fact, I've only seen this once, you will see retainers in the overworld collecting material.
True.
That's always so fucking weird to me. It always creeps me out. I'm like, who the fuck is that?
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah, that's true. Remember when there was like a myth when all the retainers started moving around that people were like, these are people's actual retainers and you might actually find yours one day. And I'm like, that's a
That'd be cool,
rumor because
yeah.
no one's wearing any gear. They're all wearing like the default NPC gear. There's no way.
Yeah.
There's too much spaghetti in this game. Yeah.
Something else that would be, I feel like chocobo carriages, as cool as it would be, chocobo carriages very hard to animate. I think it'd be much more likely you will see people using chocobo porters between
just
city
chocobo
states.
porters, I guess, because that you can see like when real players use them. It becomes rarer and rarer. I feel like I haven't seen one in a very long time.
I use them.
I use them sometimes, just because I want to be that guy that passes by someone. You know what I mean? I'd be like, yeah, I'm using the transportation network here. That's right. I'm keeping this alive.
I use them because I'm stingy.
Yeah,
and then I use that time to go make a drink or something.
Yeah, that's also good. That's like a good pee break as well. But also, does it not play different music?
It does have a different chocobo theme to when you ride your own.
Yeah. I think that might be the original 1.0 chocobo music, but don't quote me on that. Someone's going to quote me on that in the comments and tell me that I am wrong. Okay. That's that. That's all she wrote. And that's all I wrote. And that's all they wrote. And that's all you get to write. That is the end of the episode. That's right. It's the end of the episode. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.
My show now.
Dangerous.
Goodbye.
Right.
Wait, I went the wrong way though, because I can't access my keyboard from here.
Hey,
Thanks for watching.
Off my show.
Oh shit! I'm sorry. I'm on the wrong show. Sorry, I was going.
Get out of here.
Oh, where's Oprah? Where's the Oprah show?
Ah.
Sorry.
Were you silent or were you silent?
Shit! I should have ended it there. That would have been a perfect end. Thanks for watching. We'll be back next. Sorry, it's too early. I haven't done the sign off. Thanks for watching, everyone. Remember to watch YouTube. That's what? That has never been part of the end. Sign off. Thanks for watching this episode of Speakers of Heidland. Remember to follow us on Twitter at SpeakersXIV, twitch.tv/SpeakersOfHeidland, youtube.com/SpeakersXIV, Discord in chat if you want to join our Discord server. If you're watching on demand, link is in the description. Remember to send us MogMail, speakersxiv.com/MogMail, and Speaker's Place. Cerulean Reactor is still on there, so make sure you watch that as well. All right, we'll see you next week, or if you're watching live, we'll be back in the post show, and also tomorrow on Sunday Fun Day. See you then. Goodbye.
Bye.